This is our first award Soiree, you all. It sure won't be the last.
And are the first community organization to host an event at the New State Street headquarters, by the way.
You can tell today that this is a movement. We have 400 people in this space today. Yes.
All right, get ready, y'all. It's about to be an amazing time.
Tonight, I'm speaking about Leadership Brainery, not in my capacity as Secretary of Education, but simply as a big fan of the work that they do. You see, because this is personal for me. Society owes Leadership Brainery a great debt of gratitude. What the agents of change at Leadership Brainery do is create a pathway, establish possibilities for students from underrepresented backgrounds to pursue graduate study. Leadership Brainery is part of the solution, and now more than ever, we need to double down. Change can't wait. Our nation's future depends on it.
5 years ago, when Derek and Jonathan, when I first met them, I knew there was something special there, and I knew that we had to invest in them, and I knew that by us giving them our name, that others would come and join. And that's what we need to do. We need to leverage our collective power.
We cannot do this work without other community-based organizations who collaborate with Leadership Brainery as a strategic alliance. Leadership Brainery receives the baton when it's time to support students getting into graduate school, being successful there.
Our students will always begin to talk about how Leadership Brainery made them feel. You make students feel worthy, valued, important, and empower them to believe that they belong in all spaces.
So I just want to thank Jonathan and Derek and the whole LB team. Before meeting them, I really had a hard time telling myself that I'm proud of myself, just because I never heard it enough.
You guys have inspired me to take my own path. Being a Black student oftentimes can be quite lonely in these spaces, and so when you have someone to give you that positive energy when things don't feel so positive, those are things you can't get anywhere else.
In this work, I have a lot of clarity about my role in the movement for social and racial justice. And my role in this movement is to move resources. That's what I care deeply about. I invite all of you to think about what your role in the movement is and how moving resources might be a part of that role.
You all may know Leadership Brainery's theory of change. We believe that with greater access to advanced education and inclusive networks that underrepresented communities can leverage high impact and high wage careers to establish wealth for themselves and also reinvest in their communities.
Give it up for our 2023 Medal of Equity recipients, Governor Deval Patrick, Catherine Wong, and Pamela Everhart.
How do you feel like you connect with our theory of change?
In terms of the profile of the folks that you are enabling and lifting, I mean, that is my path. I'm a poor kid from the south side of Chicago.
I'm from Chicago too.
And it's one thing, and a very big one thing, that you have the impact on individual lives that you do.
Right.
It's another thing entirely that you enable people to imagine what that path might be.
When I think about Leadership Brainery, I think in threes. Student-centered, strength-based, solidarity-driven. I leave you now with my favorite Hawaiian olelo. A'ohe pake'iki, ika halau ho'oka'i. All knowledge is not taught in the same school. One can learn from many sources.
I'm so appreciative to receive the Leadership Brainery's inaugural Medal of Equity Award. However, I did not get to this space and this place alone. The path to career opportunity, to economic mobility, and to generational wealth is seated in a post-secondary degree. I believe that in the fight for equity, education must be the foundation. This belief is the reason why I am proud to support Leadership Brainery. Effective leaders create space for the voices of others that is rooted in trust, and they inspire as they guide others to reach their full potential. I ask you to commit to be a bridge between hope and what is possible.
So we're going to take a moment and do a slight toast. And as you raise your glass, I want you to raise it in a moment of reflection around your own commitment to continue to ensure that communities with their backs against the wall have access to life-changing opportunity that will not only radically shift their own trajectory, but the trajectory of their families and their communities and society at large. That is what we do. That's what we're here to do. The best is still yet to come, and we say that we're going to do it together because change can't wait.